have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 112 of the Scholars of Wrestling show. This is Scholar Tarek. Alongside me, as always, is Scholar No. Alongside me, as always, is Scholar No. Okay, so Scholars Jeff and Brian will not be with us this week because they're on assignment, but don't you worry. It's not my voice you're just going to be listening to this week. I have brought a special guest, someone who is quite familiar with wrestling podcasts himself, because I should know, he and I actually co-hosted a wrestling podcast once upon a time. And someone who is actually quite familiar with being inside a wrestling ring. I don't know why I keep doing that. Welcome, Charlie Morone. Hello, Sir Charles. Welcome to the Scholars of Wrestling show.
Hello. Does this make me your savior scholar for the week?
No, you haven't earned that title yet.
Oh, man.
You're just
I'm a stand-in scholar, I guess.
I guess you're a scholar in training, I guess.
Yeah. Superhero in training?
A Scully. No. That's the name of our trophies. It doesn't matter. Scholar in training. We're thinking too much.
Trophies are named the shits.
No, it's not. Where did you get this information?
Superhero in training, I said.
Oh.
Yeah, that was back when they were the shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's good scholar
Is this PG
knowledge.
Or?
No PG.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about it. Welcome.
Sorry, I threw that out the window.
Welcome, Sir Charles. And let's just, get right down to it and go in by peeking in behind the curtains and checking in on a little Backstage news. Oh, this is hard because Jeff and Brian are not here. Okay, let's start this over. You're gonna be be echoing news. So when I say news, you just echo in
news. Repairman, man.
To an extent, yes. You say news, I say news. You say news, I say news.
Okay.
Again, let's go ahead and peek behind the curtains and check in on a little Backstage news. News. Very good. Very good.
It's live recording.
Yes, this is live recording. Okay, let's go right in and talk about the, not so fun Backstage news this week. What do you want to do? Start with the sad news or the bad news?
Let's get the sad news out of the way.
Indeed, the sad news. For those who haven't heard, and you have to be, newbies when it comes to wrestling, Jonathan Reckner, also known as Balls Mahoney, tragically passed away April 12th at the age of 44. Sad thing to hear of an ECW legend. And from what I've heard, there hasn't been any release on what happened, no autopsy or anything. All we know is that his wife found him at home watching Jeopardy, unconscious. She called 911. She tried giving him CPR. And then they officially announced him dead April 12th, the day after his birthday, of all days.
I heard. Didn't he fall or something on his birthday?
That I haven't heard.
I heard he took a fall a day or two prior. So
you think that could
be
a factor to it?
Probably.
It's such a sad thing at age 44, considering it's not too young a age, but still for someone to go away like that. Hopefully we'll find out what the real cause of it. And you, Sir Charles, have a particular story about Balls Mahoney, since you actually seen him live at a particular wrestling event.
Have his autograph. What's called? It was a PWS show, and he was. I know Dave will correct me if I'm wrong on this, but he was either the first or second match, and mid-match, he just rolls out of the ring after swinging chairs back and forth with his opponent, and just hurls himself over the guardrail and throws up there was a splash zone almost. The first two rows just threw up on them.
So he hurls himself out of the ring
and then hurls. Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
Some fun stories you can think about with Balls Mahoney.
Parents covering their children's eyes and
Because, everyone throws up. Oh, no! Don't look at the man throwing up. It's not like you haven't thrown up in the past. Oh,
Yeah.
little children.
It was interesting. He was awesome to meet, though, and luckily I met him before he puked, so that was cool.
That is a very disgusting story. And to all the...
Imagine if it was afterwards. Balls, so nice to meet you, piece of gum.
Oh, Balls, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you.
No, Balls, no.
I've got balls of...
Like, for a minute, like on Family Guy or Team America. Just...
Who wants chowder? All right, so to all the family of friends of Balls Mahoney, we wish you our condolences. What more else we can say? But good luck wrestling in that big wrestling ring in the sky. Balls, 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 balls of steel. And
it's so weird that it's right after Axel, his tag partner, too,
Yeah. Ugh. Timing. Move on from sad to bad. Our favorite Uncle Bray Wyatt, suffers a calf injury in Italy European tour. His first match, apparently, against our favorite WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns.
I need to look into this more because I watched the video and I feel like he just got a leg cramp going for a stare down with Roman Reigns. Like he didn't stretch prior to the match or something, because the only footage that's out of it is him just walking around in the ring and then being like, oh crap, my shin, or
my way.
Yeah, it's weird. And there's no more further reports on it either, so it's just
calf injury,
a freak accident. Yeah,
I don't think this takes him off TV. He'll probably do what he does best and cuts a promo on the screen to the League of Nations, since, that's who he's having a rivalry with already. Granted, this was my WrestleMania Wyatt match,
shouldn't you have them turn face against a team that actually has legitimate heat, not a team that's we just don't give a response to?
Well, to an extent, they do get heat. To be fair, it may not be legit, oh, you're the bad guys, we boo you heat, but it's the heat that, oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
The emotion they got out of me, though, was oh no, this means Barrett's career is finally dwindling down with the WWE.
Apparently, with Barrett getting kicked out, we're never going to see him on TV again.
No.
Ever.
I mean, he might, do a one-off against one of the League of Nations or something, but that would have happened on SmackDown then.
Yeah. From what I've been reading, this is it. This is their goodbye, King Barrett.
Such wasted potential in that man's WWE stint.
Hell, to be perfectly honest, the League of Nations itself was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, but what do you expect when you take a storyline from a video game?
It had potential. When they first officially united, I'm like, this is an interesting idea, minus the fact that it was which one was it? 2K12 or WWE 12?
I think it was WWE 12. It was whichever one Undertaker went around turning people into zombies.
God, I love that game. But yeah, it had potential because really thinking about it, I made this argument with Jeff and Brian, and they really weren't arguing back. These three guys were legit the top heels, minus Triple H and Stephanie.
At times, yeah.
Really? At the time.
I wouldn't say together as League of Nations were the top heels.
To an extent, they were. Come on, it's Sheamus, Alberto
Del
Rio,
you have to draw
Rusev,
heat. I feel when League of Nations music hit at any time, it was just boo. Boo.
What a way to kill her. What a way to kill the segment.
I don't feel like there was heat for them. I feel like it's, oh great, we have to watch these guys for a 15-minute segment. That's what people are really booing.
When they're on the mic, sure. When they're on the mic, but you got to give it to the guys when they're in the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still make the argument they are really the top heels. I mean, two of them are former world champions, and then we have Rusev.
Because Sheamus was drawing some pretty big heat when he cashed in Money in the Bank. So, yeah.
Well, to be fair, that
the second fallen opportunity they had at making Roman Reigns as champion a success.
Fail.
Yeah.
3-time champion. My God. That's still something that's hard to swallow.
I just look at the stats now in WWE and think back to when Michaels and Brett would go a whole career being 4-time champion, and then like seeing now like Daniel Bryan was like however many time champion. Sheamus has held it like what?
I think Bryan only had it twice.
Like Sheamus has had it how many times, and then you have Cena 15-time world champion. Like, come on.
Hell, since Triple H was a 14-time champion this most recent title run, I would actually be like, okay.
His reigns were legitimate, though.
Exactly.
And he had a lengthy career. Not
when it's like
over the
John
span of
Cena.
5 years.
Not with John Cena, who won the title every other month. He loses it, and then he wins it the next pay-per-view.
But
yeah.
like, people are going to be looking at the record books and be like, Randy Orton wasn't that great. He only held it 12 times. Like, you know, like...
Yeah, only 12 times. How many guys are actually
He's no
in the
John Cena.
double digits?
A ton now. Right?
Really?
For like decades, it was like Ric Flair being the only like double-digit champion. And
I think it's just 4. Flair, Triple H, Cena, and Orton. I don't really...
Orton's up there, right?
Yeah,
Flair, obviously.
Flair, Triple H, Cena.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's just those 4. So
yeah.
Of course it's just those 4.
Yeah.
Hopefully Roman Reigns won't be listed in that category.
The best.
And hell, with us continuously talking about Roman Reigns, let's go ahead and transition right into...
Probably going to go down as like a 20-time champion by the time it's
my God, don't even make that.
Well, he's 3 years in.
That's a terrible joke. That's a terrible joke. We'll transition right into this past week on Raw, and hell, let's just add in SmackDown as well, with Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns going over the League of Nations in it was actually a very entertaining tag match.
Yeah. And
it just shows that Bray Wyatt will thrive as a face. He really will. And of course, when he had that European tour in Italy, when he faced Roman Reigns, of course, he's getting a bigger reaction than Roman Reigns? Make him a heel in the tour. Because, that's what really matters, damn it.
It's funny because with most people, you think like they have more fun as heels. I think Bray is going to have a blast being a face at first because no one's going to take him serious as a legitimate face. And it's going to be more of an awkward reaction for a few months, and then he has time to like get in the flow of being a face. But he's still going to be that tweener-ish guy, though. The Wyatt family is going to be those tweeners.
I think he fits better as a tweener.
They're going to be like an Austin stable, just getting that tweener reaction.
And this is just their quote-unquote face against the most hated team, which, from what I've been hearing, doesn't have long anyway.
Who's that?
The League of Nations. I heard rumors they're already planning on breaking them up.
Well, I mean, how long can you go with Rusev, Sheamus, and Alberto Del Rio?
But hey, remember, JBL did say they are the next 4 horsemen. So it's that big a shock of news, everyone! Oh my God!
He's getting awkward in his commentary.
He's been getting awkward.
He's like calling the Ascension the New Age Outlaws and...
Wait.
No, I'm just saying he's making awkward like comments.
Oh, that's just an example.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Especially after that whole, I hate the Ascension bit when they first showed up. Ugh. But enough talking about what wrong happened this week. Let's talk about something positive. How about it?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh, yeah. The Bootios Tag Team Tournament. That's what I'm calling it.
Greatest name for a tournament.
Wait, are they actually calling the Bootios Tag Team
Tournament?
No.
It's the number 1 contendership tag team tournament sponsored by Bootios.
Yes. But I call it the Bootios Tournament.
Because they make sure you end booty.
Because what other tournament comes out of a box of Bootios but the tag team tournament, of course. And
I can think of plenty, but they're not PG.
That's fine. From what happened this past week, we had 4 teams left of Enzo and Cass, favorites, the Dudleys, the Vaudevillains, and the Usos, with the debut of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Bullet Club, attacking the Usos, which is probably Scholar Jeff's favorite moment of this past week. I think we made that clear when we were watching Raw.
He loves his indie darlings.
But from what I've been hearing, there's actually a specific reason that Gallows and Anderson are specifically attacking the Usos. But this is just a rumor about... Oh, you've heard about this?
They're linked to Roman Reigns and AJ Styles is going to form the Bullet Club at Payback.
You say it like it's a joke, but actually
no,
it's not
I
that
don't say
bad
it
of
as
an idea.
It's a joke. I say it as
predictable.
And I don't think WWE's creative can do that. And if so, AJ Styles is being fed to the wolf. You know he's not going to go over Roman Reigns at Payback. For the next couple months,
especially with
Roman
such
Reigns
a positive reaction
is just going to be fed all these baby faces as champion.
All these babyface
until
indie
he
darlings.
has his legitimate heel turn.
Say it right. All these babyface indie darlings.
Yes,
that's who he's going with.
Yes.
But back to the tournament. My favorite is Enzo and Cass making it to become the number one contenders. Let's see. We have Enzo and Cass, as I said, who are my favorites. The Dudleys, the Vaudevillains, and the Usos.
Well, I think that the Bullet Club may continue to zone in on the Usos, so you can probably take them out of this, leaving the Vaudevillains. And I'm going to go against Tarek on this one and hope that the Dudleys get that number 10.
Oh, I would love to see them.
You know, that would be.
You know what? Having the Enzo and Cass versus the Dudleys for the tag titles would actually be a great storyline.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think the New Day has reached that point where they don't need the tag titles anymore, even though they're being fantastic with them.
They've had a legitimate long run, especially for nowadays, and I mean.
Time for the NXT guys to take over.
The titles titles made the New Day at one point, but now New Day is still going to be new. New Day has become a bigger monster than the titles, you know. So it's not going to affect them losing at this point.
I can honestly see them start going for like singles titles.
Yeah.
If anything.
Especially Xavier Woods. I would love to see him win a singles title. Like a US title, he would be awesome with that.
I think he would be great at that as well.
But to see the Dudleys get number 10 going, that would be awesome.
I've said it in the past. I made it as a Scholars Quick Talk, which I don't have any this week. The Dudleys will get their 10th time as a heels. That was the big Scholars.
I mean, Jericho hasn't gotten that 10th time as an IC champion, so you can't say they have to. I hope they do.
Well,
segue their DVD documentary is kick ass. But I hope they get that number 10.
I hope so too, but
and if they do, just bring back the Attitude Era straps, please, for them.
I
don't see them carrying around these pennies.
I could be perfectly honest. It would be if I had to choose the tag titles to bring back. Ooh, excuse me. If there was any titles to bring back, it would either be the Attitude Era titles or the Raw titles.
Yeah, but these penny titles won't look good on the Dudleys.
The Penny Spartan belts. Very weird design. But do you think the Bullet Club will continue pulling like a outsiders type thing for a while? Like they're not quote unquote a storyline officially signed in WWE. They'll just keep attacking from the audience.
If they weren't officially signed, they'd be doing like the one-offs that James Storm did in NXT, you know? Like, I think the fans are smarter than this at this point. It's a cool story to go with, don't get me wrong, but like...
But, you know, WWE is a big fan on stories, and honestly, so am I. That's one reason why I keep watching, to see where they're going storyline-wise. And the matches are its own separate entity.
Bullet Club, though, I don't know, man. Everyone wants to see AJ Styles, but I want to see Finn Balor get that call up and join them.
What do you see them being called, since they can't have Bullet Club?
Balor Club. It's already been like all over everything.
Well, if they go with Finn Balor, sure. But before that officially happens, quote quote, what do you see them being called? Just Gallows and Anderson?
Well, luckily it's not Impact Wrestling, so they won't be like Club Bullet.
Okay. All right, moving on that one. Let's talk about a title match that has been officially announced for Payback, one that's close to my heart. An Intercontinental title match that is actually worth something than The Miz versus Zack Ryder. I think I've made that perfectly clear on this show how much I hated that. Cesaro winning the number one contender against Kevin Owens in an awesome match. I love this match that happened this past week. Granted, Cesaro still needs a little work done on the mic. That backstage promo, he was just basically it sounded like he was just reading off something, off a card or something.
Well, he's never been one on the mic. When he had that, like, let me get this off my chest back in, like, I don't know, when was that? When he had his Speak Freely promo.
When he talked about the 4 ropes?
Maybe.
It was
a while back. But that
year.
was honestly, like, his only decent promo. But Cesaro... It was awesome when he returned and they were like, oh, he wasn't informed that he's wrestling, so he did the whole Magic Mike Hitman thing and took off the suit and everything. But don't make that a thing. Don't make Cesaro being a Hitman version of Magic Mike in his entrance a thing. Just make him be Cesaro. Don't make him strip every time he comes down to the ring. You know, I don't know.
Well,
it doesn't sit right.
Well, considering I have a giant man crush on Cesaro, I love it every single
Jesus
time.
Christ.
Like, all of a sudden he strips down, and I was like, oh my.
Oh my,
indeed. But I'm glad
that's my only complaint with Cesaro. He has awesome skills. He's awesome.
I just hope they don't keep the bandages on his shoulder and continuously make that a storyline thing. Hopefully they'll move past it.
Yeah.
And I'm as much as I love the Awesome One, I really want to see Cesaro hold that gold.
I think Miz and Maurice are just going to continue being this cheap unit, you know?
I could,
because their on-screen marriage works as well as their real-life marriage. They have like that chemistry as manager and wrestler.
I like that they're going with like she's the his like managers. Like, do you see these M&Ms? He does not like the blue M&M. Or what was it? The green.
David Otunga pulled that back a while back on
and
a
him
Raw
having
once.
the
like I asked for purely green M&Ms. He like found like a red one in his jar or something.
It's like you have to get 1,000 brown M&Ms to fill a brandy glass, or Ozzy won't go on stage that night. That's pretty much what they're doing with the Miz, at least in that segment.
It was awesome.
I like to see where they're going to go with it. Hopefully, they didn't do anything on SmackDown, I believe, other than feeding Zack Ryder to Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Good. I had no idea Zack Ryder was a cancer survivor, so
I missed that completely.
Well, they only talk about. I've only read about that. They haven't talked about it in WWE. That's probably why they gave him that WrestleMania win.
Ah, okay.
Because he's a cancer survivor.
You beat cancer. Hold a belt for a day.
A day. Oh, just so Jeff can get that goddamn prediction right.
Oh, jeez.
I hate you. With that prediction, fool, I hate you. But yeah, I want Cesaro to win the IC title. And I'm just going to end it with that. And the highlight of this past Raw, for me at least, was AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn.
Yes.
To have Sami Zayn possibly be installed in the Payback title match with AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. Because, Kevin Owens decided to attack him backstage so Cesaro can get into the Fatal 4-Way last week. But you know what?
As long as it's not another legitimate injury for Sami Zayn, I'm happy.
Well, the fact that he landed on his head.
Oh my gosh, I could not believe that bump. I need to go back and watch that at some point because he bounced off of his head,
and he was just running on adrenaline.
He bounced off of his head. It was ridiculous,
and he was just like, "Oh, it was just a flesh wound. I'm gonna keep this match going." And it was a great match. And
I love me some Sami Zayn, which SmackDown upset me because he had the commercial entrance.
Did he? I missed,
versus Jericho. He had the commercial entrance.
I missed the match. Really? He had
yes,
the commercial
and his
entrance.
theme song makes me happy, and he had the commercial entrance.
Wait. So Jericho came out first, commercial, and then Sami Zayn was already in the ring?
Commercial, like, Sami Zayn was sitting in the corner, and, like, tail end of his music playing for, like, 5 seconds when they came back from commercial break, and then Jericho came out. Yeah. It upset me.
Wow, really? For a main event?
Main event, Sami Zayn, Jericho, and they played Jericho's entrance.
Well, whatever. It was just the match that continuously fueled the whole Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at Payback.
Which I love. Not only that they're intertwining these two matches at for Payback with Kevin Owens and Zayn and Ambrose and Jericho.
Tag match for Raw.
The setup, That's what I was thinking the whole time I was watching Zayn and Jericho. But the setup that they're going with for Ambrose and Jericho is just hilarious to me. Like, the whole... Did you watch the Jericho-Zayn match? I loved how Ambrose was just defending himself and being like, look, I don't want highlight reel taken off the air. I was just pulled aside by Shane, and he gave me a stupid pot of flowers and this cardboard sign and told me to go out there and do my thing. So that's what I got to do. He's just so good at playing that, like, aloof, like, goofy, just...
I like that they're starting off
bummish guy.
I like that they're starting off the feud with a goofy thing.
Yeah.
And it's
well, I mean, they didn't start it off with a goofy thing. First, didn't they have Jericho, like, prematurely brush off Ambrose's win in that one match? Didn't he, like, demand that his match start instead of Ambrose celebrating? Like, Ambrose won a match, then he was on the ramp while his music was playing. Then, like, before he even hit the top of the ramp, Jericho's music played, and he was, like, already... he won. Yeah.
That was just the sign of, okay, this is the start of a feud.
Yeah.
That was it. But then it goes off to, let's have a little fun with this feud, because these are two fun guys who can make a storyline so much fun, but also evolve it into something serious. And I think that's what's going to happen these next couple weeks.
And I dig that we're not just getting WrestleMania rematches for Payback, but with the 3-week span that they have between Payback and Extreme Rules, we're just going to get rematches from Payback at Extreme Rules with stupid stipulations.
When is Payback?
Payback is the 1st, and then Extreme Rules is the 22nd. So yeah, same month instead of having...
That's one thing I've always never liked about these pay-per-views, that how so close.
They're like, let's not do one in March. Let's do WrestleMania at the very beginning of April, and then double up in April. I mean, double up in May.
I was going to say, wait, double up in April? It's like...
But one more complaint about WrestleMania. Not only was Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose way too short and didn't involve enough violence, where did Dean Ambrose's cart from Raw go? Where was that to be seen at WrestleMania? He fills up his card on Raw, interrupts Brock's promo, and just leaves that card in the back and hides stuff onto the ring for Mania.
Well, from how the match ended up going, the card would probably just sat in the corner anyway.
That card better appear at Extreme Rules.
Bring out the Bobby and the unnecessary chainsaw that obviously no one's going to use. Oh, I'm going to hit you with it. Oh, I got the table instead.
I'm just not going to turn it on and saw you with it.
Weird. It's almost the same extent of when Dean Ambrose was feuding against Seth Rollins last year? And then they had the Hell in the Cell match, and then Dean Ambrose says, this is what I'm going to do to Seth Rollins. He takes out a mannequin and just starts ripping it apart.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, the Cole and JBL laugh it off. Yet I'm the only one that's like, this is quite disturbing. This is what a man is saying he's going to do to another human being inside Hell in a Cell, and they're just laughing at it like it's a joke. Wow, you stupid morons. But that's
a lot of times the commentary kills
everything.
Yeah.
That's something that I've talked about plenty of times on this show. Everybody in the entire internet wrestling community has said.
I'm getting to a point where I just want to start muting Raw.
And you know what? No one will look down on you for it. So, speaking of one more thing about WrestleMania, don't you just love how the Hell in the Cell match means absolutely nothing, since once again Shane McMahon took control over Raw? Just watch, it's going to be the same reason this week.
You make an awesome point, but like there was a lot of good on the aftermath of WrestleMania than...
Oh, these past two Raws have been really entertaining.
Yeah. A lot better... I mean, some people, not myself, because I tried rewatching WrestleMania 32 and I just don't like it. But a lot of other people are saying that if you know what you know after WrestleMania happened, go back and watch WrestleMania 32. I mean, aside from the fact that it was 5 hours, I only got 4 matches in when I tried to rewatch it, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I just don't like this year's WrestleMania.
To people making that argument, I really wouldn't accept that.
Yeah.
Because I've said it on their review show, the only match that I actually found entertaining was the Divas Triple Threat match.
Yeah.
Even the ending with Ric Flair interfering.
But it was another year that NXT TakeOver beat out WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely. But, hey, at least we are actually getting a Shane McMahon Raw.
Yes.
And it actually is very entertaining. It's nice to have Shane...
And to people saying the more that you see of Shane McMahon, the less you appreciate him, that's not true at all. He can take over Raw for the next year, and I'll be happy.
What I like is when he does open the shows, it's a completely different segment than when...
Yeah, it's not a 45-minute authority promo, and then...
Talking about how awesome they are.
Yeah.
This is Shane McMahon coming out and saying, this is what's happening on Raw. You're going to it's going to be a great Raw.
You're going to watch it and you're going to like it.
Enjoy. Done. And then Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Which I'm starting to believe more and more what JML was saying this week when he was over. He was like, this is going to end in Kevin Owens just beating the crap out of Shane McMahon. You know that, right?
That's going to be a great feud.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold reversed. Heel versus heel wrestler versus good authority. And I'm intrigued because both guys can do really well. But
let me ask you this. This question has been in the back of my head. With all our talk on stables emerging and being recreated and turning face and heel and all that stuff, do you think we're going into another era of like stable warfare? Do you think, like, say, a rumor of the Shield, do you think that'll happen anytime soon, or a rebirth? I know I just opened Pandora's box, and this is the question that can go on to, an hour's discussion.
What? We'll make that the unofficial Scholars Quick Talk, and this time it's the Scholar and Training, because I'm usually the one that gives out the Scholars Quick Talks, but now I'm going to be the one who's taking the receiving end. Nope.
Oh, baby.
Oh my. Oh, Charlie. Stable. This year? Like the year in general?
No, like
do you think
it could happen anywhere from now till TLC? No. How about from now till next WrestleMania season? So I don't know about you, but I want another lengthy Seth Rollins run with the title.
I think that's going to happen, but
that guy carried the freaking company up till his injury.
Oh yeah, it did.
Every match was a 5-star match with Seth Rollins,
and I just like. I actually told Jeff and Brian this last week how my views on Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns actually completely changed from what it was before. Before I said, now from how they're going to be booking it, Seth Rollins is the new Triple H, Roman Reigns is the new Rock, Dean Ambrose is the new Stone Cold. But that was my old way.
Or Foley and how they're booking him now.
Well, yeah, and that's why I completely changed my thoughts.
I hope it doesn't end up him getting the title for a week. That would
suck. But I think they know better than that. Dean Ambrose is a too popular a character and too. With where he is in the main event picture.
Did you see that meme? It's like WrestleMania 2015, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 2016, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 2017, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm still putting Dean Ambrose as the Slammy Awards Superstar of the Year this year.
They gotta put
unless
him in
something
good matches. That's the only problem to that.
From Royal Rumble, he almost wins, and he was one of the big highlights. He had a pretty spectacular match against Triple H
at Roadblock, correct.
And he went off against Brock Lesnar. Granted, it was a shitty match, but it was still
they sold themselves so short.
Yes, that was the biggest letdown
I
of WrestleMania.
hope they're planning something at Extreme Rules or something between the two of them, because there has to be more to that. Unless they just realized they didn't have chemistry, but I feel like to have a build up like that lead to a 12-minute match, if even
barely. I think it was under 10 minutes. That match was the biggest letdown from a guy who spent the whole build up for this match, taking F5 after F5 and basically saying, "Please, sir, I want some more." To losing one F5, but that I've already talked about that. I've already talked about how much I've actually hated WrestleMania. How it's actually my worst event of the year so far. Because it's the only.
I'd rather watch Roadblock again.
It's the only WrestleMania that I've ever walked out on, And I was watching it here with you. I walked down. I'm like, I don't want to watch Triple H versus Roman Reigns. I don't want to watch the show anymore. And for people saying, "Oh, that's just because it was so long," it's like, no. I actually could. I would actually watch it for 5 hours if it was a good show. Exactly, it was poor quality. But back to what I was saying before with Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, with how we were talking about how Roman Reigns is now going to beat the internet darlings. Roman Reigns is becoming the next Triple H, and how Triple H versus Roman Reigns was the quote passing of the torch, where Triple H took on the WCW darlings and basically put them in, was fed them, how Roman Reigns is being fed the internet darlings, and Seth Rollins is actually the new Rock, because he was the corporate champion.
Okay.
He had that awesome feud with Dean Ambrose, which was their equivalent to Rock versus Mick Foley.
Okay.
And he's going to come back as a huge face. And he's way more charismatic than Roman Reigns is.
That's an interesting spin on it, yeah. But
so
it's
now,
true.
And Dean Ambrose is Mick Foley, and they had such a great match, and yet the only disappointing factor in it is that Dean Ambrose didn't have his Mankind winning on Raw title. Yeah, that'll put butts in the seat moment.
He's having more of a Jericho.
Yeah, he is getting a Jericho book, but he will have his Foley. They gave the title to Mick Foley. That'll put butts in the seat moment.
Yeah,
probably not on a Raw, but on a pay-per-view.
Hopefully not.
Granted, it'll be completely out of nowhere, like what they did with Foley.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's how I look at it now. And Seth Rollins will flourish as a face. He will bloom as a face.
Yeah, he'll definitely.
So yeah, I see him as more of The Rock than Roman Reigns is, and Roman Reigns is Triple H.
Yeah, that Rocket thing is definitely an interesting twist on Seth Rollins, and it makes sense.
So yeah, that's what I think. But now we want to know what you people think. I'm stealing a quote from Jeff. We want to know what you think. Do you think that Seth Rollins will be the new Rock? Do you think that Roman Reigns is the next Triple H? Dean Ambrose is Mick Foley? Well, they already made that one clear by giving him Barbie. Yet I felt they ruined it with Terry Funk.
Chainsaw?
Yeah. But what did you think of this past Raw? What did you think of this past SmackDown? What are your feelings about Bray Wyatt? What are your feelings about Balls of Steel Mahoney? Be sure to leave a comment down below. If you like what you hear, like this video and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And if you like what you hear, go to our Facebook page. We are the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, ScholarsOW. And if you want to follow me in particular, I'm at the Avatar. Charlie, do you have any plugs? Twitter, Facebook, for people to get in touch with you?
Let me pull up my social media.
Social media.
I'm obviously Charlie Morone on Facebook.
Obviously.
I think I had to add an extra E on
Charlie
on Twitter
or Morone.
On the Twitter machine, I am CharlieMonroe. And then on Instagram, which I just revived, I am CharlieMonroe.
I'm actually thinking of slowly bringing in a Scholars of Wrestling Instagram that, like, whenever we go to wrestling shows and all that show up our signs. But yeah, that's one way of expanding the Scholars of Wrestling. We want to thank you all for listening. Thank you, Charlie, for being a scholar in training.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Come again whenever we want to invite you.
Come again when we allow it, you peasant.
You know what we are. Oh, wait. In this case, you know who I am. This is the Scholars of Wrestling.
Oh, I just added you guys on Twitter.
Oh, well, thank you.
Twitter.
This is the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Charlie, say goodbye.
Good night. Goodbye.
Sorry, don't hurt me.